to always be hearing from people that are making it happen. And so this is your host, Brandon Boyd. For those who don't know me, I'm a chairman 50, nearly a chairman 100 inside this company. It's super, super grateful to be here, coming in time 8 days after Jason Brown and Matt Rosa, and to stick around and continue to build this thing. We're absolutely exploding. You guys have heard a lot of the numbers that we've been building since March 1st with this whole virus situation that's happened, that we don't allow, excuses to determine our future. We don't allow circumstances to control what it is that we're doing every day. We actually control our circumstances through our thoughts as well as our actions that we take every day. And the first individual I'm going to bring up, because guys, we're going to jump right into this. I don't want to waste any time. I want to respect your time. But by the way, go ahead and put in the chat where you guys are calling in from, because we got people from all over the globe who are on the call, from New Zealand, Belgium, France, Mexico, Germany, Utah, California, New York, New Jersey, Seattle, Washington in the house, Miami, Florida, Alabama, Arkansas, Czech Republic's in the house, Belgium's in the house, Indianapolis. This first individual I want to bring on, this is someone that has really become a dear friend to me over the last several years. He has been with us almost since the very beginning when we got started in this company. A lot of you guys have heard of him. You've seen him. He's a Chairman 25, Jurgen van de Capella. Jurgen van de Capella. That's how you guys say it. I have practiced that over time, and he corrected me because I said his name wrong. But a Chairman 25 deserves that respect. It looks like it's spelled Jurgen, but it's Jurgen van de Capella. All right, so if you guys see him, I want you to give him a congratulations, because not only is he a Chairman 25 in this company, but this guy's business has absolutely exploded the last 6 months. And he has been through us, or through this company, through the ups and downs. I mean, this guy, when things got tough, he did not quit. He stayed. He planted his flag. And though that it could have been frustrating at times, Jurgen kept moving forward. This guy is a phenomenal leader. He's a family man. This guy has a couple dogs, I think, actually. He loves his dogs. But this guy is an individual who I would consider a leader's leader, someone who is consistent, someone who does not believe in excuses, instead believes in opportunity. So all the way from Belgium, guys, I want you to go ahead and give it up for Jurgen van de Capella. Jurgen, I'm going to go ahead and make you the host, and once you can hear me on your end, let me know. And you are now the co-host.
Yes, sir, Brandon. I can hear you perfectly. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, Brandon, for the nice introduction. And first of all, because I don't always get the chance to talk about you in public, but I want to say thank you, Brandon, for the person that you are. Thank you for the leader that you are, because in my opinion, you are the prime example that excuses do not exist. And you are the prime example that someone can be consistent on a super, super high level. So thank you for that.
Awesome, man. We're excited to have you on here. And guys, get ready to take notes. He's all the way from Belgium. He's very far away from some of you who are on this call, but I promise you the information that he gives, if applied, can change your business. So Jurgen, take it away, man.
Awesome. Thank you, Brandon. And also for my last name, I know it's a Dutch name. For an English speaking person, it's not easy, because when I go on tour, like for instance, Jason Brown, he's the best. When he introduces me, is Jurgen van de Capella. And then everybody thinks I'm an Italian, but actually, guys, I'm from Belgium. I'm from the beautiful city of Bruges. If you haven't visited Belgium, please do so. If you don't know where it is, very simple. We are in a small country in Western Europe, and probably you know us from Belgium chocolate, Belgium waffles. Definitely Alex Morton knows us from the Belgian waffles, because if he comes over, the first thing he always asks me is, Jurgen, can we go to a Waffle House? So Belgian beers, I mean, we brew more beers than I think any other country in the world. And I want to get one mistake out of this world. It's Belgian fries, because I know people always talk about French fries. There's no such thing as a French fries. We should rewrite history. It is Belgian fries. So guys, let's start the movement wherever you are worldwide. And if you order fries, please say Belgian fries. Thank you very much. So guys, this morning I woke up a little bit later than I used to because I had a very good mastermind session with some of my leaders in Antwerp. And I thought, what are we going to share with the audience today? Because, you know, as leaders, we do a lot of sessions. We try to give as much value as possible. And I thought, well, the last few weeks, I'm thinking a lot about my childhood, about how did I grow up, in which circumstances, and especially what did I learn from the situation. I'm not going to tell my story because I don't have the time, but long story short, I grew up in, let's say, between poverty and extreme poverty. I think at a certain moment in time, I think we invented the word poverty. And there's three things, guys, 3 pointers, 3 elements, 3, you may call it keys to success, not only in business, but also in life, that I'm going to share with you on this session. And the first thing that I used to learn at a very young age, I don't know why it happened, how it happened. The most important thing for me is that actually did happen, is the extreme power of visualization. Okay, that is something that I've done from a very young age. Probably because of the circumstances I grew up. I remember that when we went to the shop with my mom, it was like, yeah, well, we can buy this, but we can't buy that. So I always was confronted with a lack of money. And I started visualizing that once I grow up, we will go to the same shops and we were gonna buy whatever we wanna do, especially for my mom, because back in the day, still today, but back in the days, she was my biggest why. And I still remember many years later when her television broke down, when the television died, I said, we will go to the shop. And I remember like it was yesterday. I was actually a little bit arrogant to the salesperson, to be honest. So he introduced all the different televisions. And then he said, yeah, well, sir, there's a big price range between those. And I said, I don't care, mom, pick the one you like. And to be honest, well, she had very good taste. And I started using it more and more and more. And I think in business, guys, it's also super important to really learn the power of visualization. I'm going to give another example. When I joined the company, the only thing that I had on my mind was actually becoming a chairman as soon as possible. From the minute I woke up to the minute I went to bed, I wanted to become a chairman. And from day one, I started visualizing myself as a chairman 10, meaning I started the exercise. I was on a stage on a big IM convention. I must tell you, when you start doing this in the beginning, it's not sexy, it's a bit blurry, it's rather vague. I'm not into meditation, my girlfriend is, and she says like in the beginning, it's a little bit strange, but after a few times, you see actually what it can do for you. And it's the same with this. I mean, the first time I saw myself on a stage, and that was about it. I said, okay, let's do it again. And each time that you repeat the exercise, you get more details, you get more things into it. I mean, in further versions, I saw an audience, 5,000, 6,000 people. I saw my girlfriend sitting at a chairman table. I saw my uplines looking at me and saying, yo, bro, congratulations. I saw Mr. Terry. I saw my team. And what happens? This all happens. I will never forget the moment that when I came off stage in Vegas, how crazy my team went. And for me, guys, the summum, the extreme version, maybe the best version of visualization is if it makes you emotional. I don't want to go into details, but I like to do it in the car, okay? Of course, you got to watch the road for sure, but I like to do this exercise in the car. And sometimes I do it in a certain way that I really get emotional. And I'll never forget, it was here in Bruges, I think 2 years ago. I was actually crying, okay? Because I was picturing myself in a future situation. And the guy next to me stopped because we were at the red lights and said, bro, are you okay? I said, I'm cool, bro. I'm just visualizing. So he must have thought, what a freak is that? But I'm telling you guys this because you will heard the sentence, if you can see it, you can do it. But most people don't exactly know what that means. And for me personally, it means if you can see it, you can do it, means you got to visualize it. And in detail, because I looked up the definition And it says the following. It says it's a cognitive tool, so you got to use your brain, that you use to visualize or picture exactly what you want to happen. So you picture yourself in a situation that you're not in at the moment, but you want to be in the near future. And it got to be full of details. You got to grasp it fully. You got to smell it. You got to feel it. Maybe you can hear it. I could hear music. Sometimes when I'm visualizing, I'm hearing certain music playing. And the reason, guys, I'm telling you this first pointer, before we go to the second one, is that it's very important to understand that how you see yourself is how other people see you. If you want that people see you in a different way, you have to see yourself in a different way. You have to think differently about yourself. You can be successful before being successful. That doesn't mean that you gotta fake it till you make it. I'm actually not a big fan of fake it till you make it, but you gotta be more successful before you actually are so. I still remember when I started in sales, it was like a direct sales company in Belgium, a very small one. And I was talking about making 5K, 10K a month. And then, you know, those people exist, critical people, okay? And they said, yeah, but Jürgen, you're not making this money right now because you just started 2 weeks ago. I said, no, I'm not, but I'm gonna make it. So the person thought differently of me because I saw myself in another situation. Okay, guys? So that's the first takeaway that I want to give you. But visualization is not enough. You got to add 2 more things to it. And the second thing that I believed when I was very, very young is you got to believe in yourself. Maybe that's the most important thing of all. You got to believe 100% in yourself. And I'm going to explain you why, because if you do not believe in yourself, why on heaven's earth would someone else believe in you? If you do not believe in yourself, why would others believe in you? Why would people follow you, especially for the people who want to inspire other people with what we're doing with I Am? It all starts with you. And sometimes people tell me, Jürgen, what can I do to increase my self-belief? And guys, I'm not a master in belief like Mr. David E. Muniz, but I know one thing. You are unique. Every single person on this call is unique. There is not a second person on this earth that is the same like you. You have a specific type of skills, a specific type of qualities that you have. Maybe it's not out there at the moment, but it's in you. You need to develop it. You need to get it out of you. You need to get it out of the world. And that's what I believe, that everybody can and should believe in themselves. But the second thing is that, especially what we're doing, you should not only believing in yourself, you should also believe in what you are doing in this company. Sometimes people come to me, a leader or someone else, and they say, Jürgen, man, I have a hard time signing customers up. I have a hard time recruiting the next leader. And okay, it can be a skill thing. Maybe you need to improve your prospecting. Maybe you need to improve your presenting, your closing. Maybe you need to talk with another energy, another vibration. I don't know. But the first thing I'm always thinking is, do you believe in yourself? Do people believe you? And do you actually believe in what you are saying? Do you believe 100% in what we are doing, that it can change people's lives? Or are you just pretending? And that's a super important question, because from day one, I believe if you truly believe in what we do, without saying one single word to the person in front of you or a webinar or whatever, okay, people will say, okay, this guy, this woman, they will believe you more, because that's what you send into the world. Okay, guys. So for me, believing in yourself, and even when all the odds are against you, again, I'm not gonna go into detail about my youth, but at a certain moment in time, well, actually most of the time, all the odds were against me. People said, Jürgen, it's not possible. I became an officer in the Belgian army, and everybody said, bro, it's simply not possible. You're not gonna become an officer, let alone you're not gonna enter the Royal Military Academy. It's not doable for you. And I did it, okay? So you can do more than you think that you can do. What can help in self-belief is that someone believes in you, okay? It's not necessary, but if there is a person that believes in you, please cherish that person, love that person. That is super, super important. And I think a role that we have as leaders, as coaches in this industry, is it's one of our duties to get the best out of people, to believe that they can do more than they self-taught that they could do actually. And that's why a coach is super important, because sometimes people say, yeah, well, having a good upline, that's not that important. I mean, in the end, you got to do it yourself. But if you have someone that cares for you, that can help you become the best version of yourself, I think that's priceless. Because guys, it's one of my favorite quotes. If you grow, everything will grow. I will repeat myself. If you grow, everything will grow. Whether you're a builder, whether you want to trade, it does not matter. Okay, guys. And the third thing that I want to share with you guys this afternoon is, of course, visualization is important. You gotta really believe in yourself. And then the third thing, it's no surprise because we all say it over and over again. Brandon always says it, Alex Morton says it, Jason Brown says it, Matthew Rose says it. You gotta put in the work. Okay, guys, you gotta put in the work. I knew when I was younger in my situations, Jürgen, if you wanna do what you said you're gonna do for your mom, for yourself, you gotta put in the work. Because let's be honest, guys, a lot of people want to have the physique, the muscles that Brandon Boyd has. A lot of people want to have his physique, but are they willing to pick up the weights every single day? Are they willing to go to the gym every single day? Whether the sun is shining, whether it's snowing, whether they feel like it, whether they don't feel like it, are they willing to do that? I remember I was, I think, 80, 90 years old, and a Belgian guy, he lives close by, Fredje de Burggraven. Fred de Burggraven. Brandon, try to say that name when we see each other in Belgium. Fredje de Burggraven. He became an Olympian champion in swimming. Guys, this is not the United States. It's a small country. This is not a big country. We don't have a lot of Olympic champions. Actually, it's very rare. And I went out in Bruges, went to a pub, drank some beers because that's what we do in Belgium. And all the pubs were crowded. And he won the gold medal. And everybody wanted to be like Fredje de Burggraven. Everybody. But ask yourself the question, who is willing to be in water in a swimming pool for 8 hours a day? Who's willing to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning like he did, so he could be in a swimming pool at 5 a.m. in the morning, because he got to get out at 8 a.m. because then the schools come and the customers come and whatever. And it's the same here. And sometimes people tell me, Jürgen, yeah, well, I don't feel like it. I'm not really motivated at the moment. Say, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's the story of the egg and the chicken. We can discuss this all night long. What was first? The egg or the chicken? Here it's very simple. Motivation, guys, for those who studied Latin like I did, it's an old language. Nobody speaks Latin, but I had a few years of Latin that I did, especially for the history of it, because Roman history is one of my favorite topics. But anyway, that's another thing, is that motivation comes from the Latin word motivare. And it doesn't mean I'm motivated. It doesn't mean I'm going to motivate someone. Motivare in Latin means moving, doing something, getting into action. And I'll always say to people, say, okay, bro, you can start doing something when you're motivated. But what works far better is that when you start working, you will see that the motivation will grow. Start with the work and you will get motivated. Of course, if it's not your season, if you're a little bit, whatever, under the weather, I don't know, start with small goals, okay? Don't say I'm going to prospect 10 people a day. Don't say today I'm going to be a six-figure trader. Don't say that. Say I'm going to prospect one person a day and say, oh my God, Jürgen, you're awesome. You're the man, okay? Don't say I'm going to read a book this week. Say I'm going to read, I don't care, maybe 3 pages today. You can say, so build up the winning habits, build up the winning culture inside yourself. That is super important. So to put everything in perspective, because I got to watch my time. Okay, I'm going to close off. to put everything in perspective, guys, the thing that I learned when I was young, and again, I don't know how it came, why it came, but I'm super happy that it came because I learned a lot in my youth. It helped me also in business, is that the visualization, guys, that's the vehicle. That's the vehicle that's going to get you from point A to point B. That's why you need visualization, okay? Maybe you want to become the 7-figure earner. Visualize it. Maybe you want to become the best dad in the world. Maybe you want to become, I don't know, the next Alex Morton. Doesn't care what you want to become. Maybe you want to buy a dream house. You got to visualize. That's the vehicle. But what are you going to put in the vehicle? You need an engine. And you don't want to put like 50 horsepower engine in that vehicle because you did visualization in an awesome way. You want to put in 500 horsepower, 600, 7, some American muscle power, I don't know, whatever exists, okay? That's what you want to put in. And that is your belief. That's your belief. Your belief is the engine that you put in the vehicle, which is visualization. And then, guys, come the work. And the work is you. You are the driver. How are you going to drive that car? Remember, guys, what we have in our hands with I am, you can take it slowly. That's okay, but it's not built to be slowly. You can drive this vehicle in first gear, in second gear, but guys, it's a Lambo, it's a Ferrari. It can take a 6th gear. You can go full throttle, or how do you say in the States, pedal to the metal. It doesn't care. And my wish for you guys, and I did a Facebook post, an Instagram post, I think yesterday or the day before, and then I'm going to really finish off, guys, is you got to jump. You really got to jump. My biggest wish for everybody on this call is that you make a decision. If you haven't made a decision yet, that's okay. Everybody has his own timing. Well, please, sooner or later, make a decision, and better sooner or later. Because I was in the military, I thought I was a tough guy. And in the 2nd year, we went on a commando course, and those guys who graduated went to the paratroopers. And I thought I had no fear of heights. I really thought so. I was on buildings 80 meters high, 100 meters high, also here in Bruges, whatever. And they didn't tell me that the first thing that we would not jump out of an airplane, because to be honest, jumping out of an airplane, you don't know what you're doing. I mean, you're just like with 10 guys in a row, it's called a stick. The instructor says go when the light hits green, and you simply start running. And before you know it, it's out of the airplane. First you're like this, then you're like that, and the chute opens, and there you go. But they said before you can jump out of an airplane, you got to jump out of a balloon. And I said, holy crap. And then the balloon goes up, and it's like a metal case you're in. You can put your arms out of it, your legs out of it, and it went up. And every 30 meters, I was like, holy crap. And I was getting really fear. I know fear is a liar, guys, but man, I've never been so scared in my life. So it went up for 300 meters high. And then the instructor said to himself, let's have some fun, guys. Enjoy the view. And we were like, cool, shaking. I was like, oh my God, I didn't dare to look down. But I mean, I made a decision back on the ground. I said, Jürgen, if you get, whatever, bro, don't think about it. Don't overthink. Don't procrastinate. Don't think I'm waiting for a better moment. I don't feel like it. You simply got to jump. And guys, I got to stand up because so you can visualize. So I was like this. This is a gap of 300 meters. I was freaking out completely. And the instructor says, he doesn't say jump. He doesn't say you got to jump. No, normally they give an order. Now they say, well, Lieutenant van der Kapelle, you can jump when you're ready. Oh man. And I promised myself, Jürgen, the minute you're there, you're going to jump. And my wish for all of you guys is very simple. Whatever your ambitions is in life, whatever you want to do, please, guys, take the jump. It's more than worth it. Guys, thank you very much. Hopefully you guys had some value. For me, it was an honor being on this call. This is the first time being on an international call, except for my team. So Brandon, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Man, I love it. Shout out to you, Jürgen, as well as everyone out there in Belgium representing. We're super proud of you guys. I hope that you got some amazing nuggets from that. I've been taking notes here on my right. If you got some amazing value and information. I want you to put value inside the chat because there's so many things that you're going to talk about. I can't wait to go back and listen to the recording of this because there's so many things that he talked about. The guys, it's not only what got him to Chairman 25, but it's what's going to push him to Chairman 50 and beyond. You're hearing from someone who's got a lot of experience in life, also in the military, as well as in business in general, in actually being able to deal with people. And so you heard from somebody who is persistent. You heard from somebody who's consistent. You heard from someone who's made a decision. You know, that, you know, so many people are redeciding to be committed. They're redeciding to do the business. They're redeciding if they should trade. They're redeciding every single week if this is something that they should do. So Jurgen, we appreciate you, man. Great job, guys. I'm excited for our next leader to bring up. In fact, what I want to do is I actually want to do a share screen because I want to show you something. I want to show you something on here real quick, guys. Michael Angel Martin has been a friend of mine now for a few years, and he is one of my top leaders actually in the organization. And so sometimes when people see the all-time leaders in the enrollment leaderboard in the back office, they're not exactly for sure who this MAM Performance Marketing LLC is. Well, it's Michael Angel Martin. He has personally enrolled 1,772 people. Now, I thought that I had a lot. I thought that I had a lot right here, enrolling 767. I thought, man, I'm doing pretty good. And then Michael Angel Martin came along and I mean, just went right by. By the way, guys, you see all these USA flags? We need to get some of the other flags up there in the top because we got so many amazing marketers around the world. We need more flags than the USA flags. But Michael Martin is the top guy. He's probably going to remain the top guy. This guy's he's the best marketer and enroller that I've actually worked with ever in 21 years. Never have I met with anybody who has had this much success in being able to bring customers, not just leaders, but customers to his organization. He is a father. He's got a daughter. They're thinking of potentially moving to Texas, so hit him up if you have any good places there in Texas for him and his daughter to move to. But Michael's this guy's a humble individual. He's not only a builder, but guys, this guy is actually a trader. This is somebody who knows how to trade. He does team webinars. He educates people. He follows the banker strategy. I've seen what he does. Michael this guy is continually revising himself as a person, as a leader, as an educator, as a trader to make himself better. Like I would say he is one word, relentless on making improvement with everything he does. And with that, Michael, I'm going to go ahead and make you a co-host. Let me know if you can hear me on your end. Guys, go ahead and put some fire emojis inside the box for #1 enroller in company history, Michael Angel Martin. Michael, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. How you doing, man? It's going good.
I'm doing great, man. And by the way, I love your short haircut you have these days.
Yeah, it's funny. It came from, the lockdown. We couldn't get a haircut, so I started growing this beard. I had a beard trimmer and my hair was getting really long. I gave the beard trimmer to my daughter and I said, just do something. And she went and just shaved the whole thing. And then when it happened, I kind of liked it. It went well with the beard. So I was like, yeah, I kind of like that. So I just kept it and it stayed.
Awesome, man. Well, we're excited to have you on, Michael. So take it away, man.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for that intro, man. Wow. That's awesome. I always get embarrassed when people talk about me like that. I just get in there and do the work and big props to Jurgen as well. I used to call him Jurgen, but now it's Jurgen after this webinar. And Jurgen's one of my event friends because somehow we always find each other, end up sitting at the same table. We've had a lot of great conversations throughout the year. So congratulations on your success as well. So what I thought I would talk about with the brief time that I have here is the #1 question I get. It's two main questions is, why do I focus on customers only? And how do you build with customers only? And why and how do I build 100% online? So I figured I'd just kind of brush over those with the time that I have. Unfortunately, can't do anything detailed, but hopefully I can say enough to pique your interest and maybe give you a little value here. So first off, the reason why I'm online, let's get that one out of the way. It was really simple. I'm an introvert. Okay, I'm a big time introvert. I'm not into, events and home parties and hotel meetings and all that stuff. I just, I call myself a recovering introvert. I'm not as bad as I was before, but I'm pretty much an introvert. So I had to find a way. I love this industry, but I had to find a way to do it without having to get on the phone, right? Without having to do three-way calls, without having to do parties, doing events and that type of thing. So I've been building all my businesses online for years. Now, when I came to this company, when the person that recruited me into this, they recruited me in because they wanted me to be a builder. But at that time in my life, I was really burnt out with the industry, with the network marketing industry. I was just burnt out, and I had traded before I ran into IM. I was already a Forex trader. I had done Forex and network marketing parallel to each other for years. And this person approached me to sign me up and said, oh, we can build this. And I'm like, nope, I'm done. But it so happens that the company products, the products of your company are, have to do with what I'm going to be doing, moving forward. So I'll sign up as a customer, and I'll be a customer for life if they're good products, but I'm not going to build. So I joined as a customer, and I dug in, and I love the products. At the time, Swipe Trade was the big product. There was only one trader on that product, and he was having phenomenal success, went like 10 months straight, profiting every single week. So I was really excited about it. And that's when all, my marketing side of me started clicking. And I thought, you know what? I might be able to build this company without builders. Like I might be able to just build it from customers because they've got some really good products. The Forex niche is massive. There's so many people out there looking to be successful. We had great education. We had great products. Like I'm wondering if I can just sell the product, right? So first I used the product. I became a product of the product, which is super important. I'll touch more on that in a little bit. Became successful with the product. And then I went out there and told that story, right? When you're marketing online, the easiest way to do it is to market a story, right? So that's what I did. So I ran some tests and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna kind of talk about this product, and I would just model the swipe trade. I'd make videos showing the product and swiping through it and show me taking trades. Sometimes when a trade come in, I'd record me copy and pasting. And so I made a few videos like that and just started sharing them on my timeline. Now, because I was a network marketer, I had a lot of make money from home type folks in my network. I didn't have a whole lot of Forex people. And then I started adding Forex people to my network via Facebook groups and things like that. So I just started posting these videos, man, and people were just signing up like crazy. I got all the way to Chairman 10 just by doing that. And I got there really fast. But it was all my personal customers. I had a couple people that came along with me at the beginning, and they're still here to this day, that also decided to replicate what I was doing. They focused on customers, so they were, builders. So they helped as well. But I raced the Chairman 10 with mostly my personal enrollments. And then on the way to Chairman 10, about halfway there, I decided to use paid ads. I thought I'd use, Facebook ads. By the way, I'm 100% on Facebook. I don't use Instagram or anything else. And so about halfway when I was, Platinum 5,000 and almost to Chairman 10, I started testing ads. I thought, well, I'll just take the same formula. I'll just demonstrate the products. And the cool thing about paid ads is you can put your stuff in front of a targeted audience. So you can literally just type into Facebook, because Facebook knows everything about you, right? And I did, put this in front of people that are interested in Forex, right? So I started doing paid ads, and they worked incredibly well. I mean, I even forgot the numbers off the top of my head. The one ad after a couple of years running had like, I want to say like 3-4 million views, like 10,000 shares, 50, 60,000 comments. Because in the video, I would say, if you're interested in this product, the swipe trades at the time, drop a comment below. And that was my process. And when they dropped a comment below, I just message them and say, hey, I've got a presentation I want you to check out. I have it in a Facebook group. I'd add them in the Facebook group and watch the presentation. So when I hit Facebook ads, that skyrocketed me to chairman 25, you know, and in chairman 25, you need 1,250 customers. And I brought, you know, right around 900 of them in myself. You know, so I almost like willed myself to chairman 25. It was my will plus a couple of those guys that I mentioned that were with me at the beginning. And so that's what I did for the first 3 years. I'm now not changing my focus, but now I am starting to bring in builders and help, create some builders. You know, I have a handful of guys that should be chairman by the end of the year. So now I am starting to focus on that. But the first 3 years, it was just customers only, you know, and then still to this day, even when I have builders, you know, I am so focused on the trading side of things. You know, like my goal for every one of my leaders is to make more money trading than they do from IM. Like for me personally, my IM money is bonus money, right? I pay my bills with trading, right? And that's my goal for every single leader, because when you get into that position and you're using the product, right, you know, it creates this story. So, you know, you hear me talk a little about later about, marketing a story. If you want to build online, right? And I think we all know the power of building online now. When I talked about it a few years ago, people thought I was crazy, right? But now when everybody was forced to be online, we had the biggest growth the company has ever had, right? So I think people now understand the power of online. But the best way to market online is to market a story. And this company with these products is the perfect storm for that, because the products make you money, right? So here's the biggest tip that I can give you about what I'm going to talk about here is, you know, start trading first. You know, start trading, become successful at trading, and share your story. You don't have to wait till you're this, you know, six-figure trader before you can start marketing it. The most powerful story is marketing it from the beginning, like just jumping on your social media platforms and just saying, you know what? I just joined this Forex. I've been wanting to learn to trade Forex for a long time. I just partnered up with this company. I just bought their tools. I'm going to try them out. Right? Just something like that. And then maybe a week later, you're like, oh my gosh, I dove into this education. I can't believe how good this education is. I'm learning so much. I just learned what a pip is. This is what it is. You know, explain what a pip is, right? And just do a little, you know, video like that. And then the next story, you know, so basically you're documenting your journey, right? You're documenting your journey. And what's going to happen is there's going to be people that are just like you and want to jump in right away, and they see you starting the journey, and they're going to want to start the journey with you, right? And they're going to join right away. And there's going to be other people that are waiting to see how you do, right? And then you might get to that point where, you know, you say, wow, I just made my first $1 today. Boom, that's going to trigger, you know, a bunch of people signing up, because there's going to be tons of people that never made their first $1, right? And then you keep on going, right? And then just keep documenting that journey. And as that journey goes and gets better and bigger, people are going to be signing up at all different, you know, along the way, you know, that journey. And then when you get to the point where you said, man, I signed up this customer and I helped them make their first $1, you're going to have a whole bunch of other people join, because they're waiting, you know, they're sitting there going, well, I know it's been working for him, but does it work for anybody else, right? Those type of people, right? And then once they see that, you'll have a whole other slew of people coming in, right? So, you know, document your journey. And what that does is, it helps you learn a skill that's going to pay your bills, no matter what happens in network marketing, right? No matter what happens in the network marketing world, we know things change and move all the time, right? This is a skill that no one can take away from you, right? A skill that allows you to reach into that market and pull out money at will almost, right? And so it gives you that confidence too when you're building, right? Like when someone comes to me, you know, you have those people that come to you, you know, when you're trying to market this thing, and they try to make you jump through all these hoops, right? You know, they're like, oh, let me see your bank account. Let me see your signups. Let me see your this. Let me see your that, right? And I just say, hey, look, I'm going to make money today with or without you. You know, either come along for the ride or don't. I don't care. And that's my response to every one of these guys, right? And ironically, that makes them want to sign up more, right? But you got to be in that position, right, to be able to do that, right? You have to have that story. You have to have those results. You have to have that skill to be able to have that positioning, right? And now you're a person in power, you know, and you're coming from integrity, right? You're being authentic, right? And and they either join you or they don't, right? And you just go along your journey because you're going to make money, you know, regardless, right? It takes that stress away, right? Because a lot of people go into the network marketing part first, maybe their back's against the wall, they're trying to build, and you're relying on other people to do their job so that you can pay your bills, right? And it just becomes a very stressful environment. And a lot of people either crack, quit, fail, you know, and they just struggle. But if you focus on the skill first, right, and start sharing your story, people are going to trip over themselves to be a part of your business, right? To be a part of your business. So that's how I do it. And then I'll just explain real quick my process, because the process is really simple. It was funny when I started hitting, you know, #1 consistently. People would ask me, they'd come to me and say, hey, can I see your marketing system? I'm like, I don't have a marketing system. They're like, well, you know, can I see your email follow-up? Well, I don't build an email list. And they thought I was just like, you know, hiding my secrets. You know, they're like, oh, come on, just tell me. And you can tell me, Mike, come on, you can tell me. And I didn't do any of that. This is what I did. This is all I did from the very beginning. I'm going on 4 years. I'm doing the same thing today as I did the first day I started, right? And I do it all on Facebook, and I use Facebook groups, right? So, you know, when you're out there, it doesn't matter if you're offline or online, right? There's 3 things that you need to do to build your business. You have to pique interest, right? And the way I piqued interest is through sharing my story, right? Once you pique interest, they're gonna come to you and ask if you're interested. At that point, you put them in front of a presentation. And the way that I do that is in Facebook groups. So I have a presentation inside of a Facebook group. And when they respond to me and say, hey, you know, I want to know more about what you're doing, I say, cool, I've done a video about the products in my Facebook group. You know, it's hosted in there. It's a private Facebook group. Here's the link. Go ahead and join it, and you'll get access to that video. So I give them that link. They join the private group. Now, what's cool about them being in the group, you know, it's a lot better than just sending them to a webinar or just sending them to a video, because you've got them captured now in this community, right? And as you build this community out, you've got hundreds, you know, you're going to have hundreds and hundreds. I have like thousands upon thousands of people in my group now. And it builds up. And what ends up happening is, you know, you have customers that come back to that group and start posting their results. You consistently do presentations into that group, right? You've got different people, maybe even builders, you know, dropping examples and results and things into that group, right? So and they get notified from Facebook every time that happens. So it's like having a system that's following up with someone without you having to follow up with them, right? Because the average person needs 7 to 12 touches by you or you know, by your system before they're going to make a buying decision, right? So combined with your follow-up, right? The group, you know, they're getting these notifications. Oh, another presentation. Oh, another customer having success. Another customer having success. Oh, a training. Oh, a tip. Oh, value, right? And they just keep getting this. So getting them into that atmosphere and into that community is super, super powerful. Because even long after you've given up on them, like you've followed up with them 7, 10 times, and you're like, okay, these guys are just not going to do anything. And you start focusing on other people, they're still in there getting those notifications. And I've had people a year later, 2 years later, you know, come up to me and say, thanks for keeping me in that group. The timing was just not right for me at the time. And this is the bad timing. And now I'm in a better place. You know, give me your link, right? So this group becomes more and more powerful as time goes on. And then the third thing, and I kind of mentioned it already here, is the follow-up, right? So you got peak interest, get them in front of a presentation, and follow-up. Right? And follow-up is the most important part of this whole process, right? Like I said, it takes a minimum of 7 to 12 touches before they're going to become a customer, right? Before they're going to join, even if you're going after builders, right? And, you know, so the follow-up is super, super important. I basically, especially at the beginning, I'm a little bit lax now because I have a lot of automation in place. I do a lot of marketing, I do retargeting, all kinds of things I can't talk about. I don't have the time right now to talk about, but But when I was just starting up, going on my way to Chairman 10 and up into Chairman 25, I would follow up with someone until they either joined or they said, stop bugging me, stop following up with me, right? Those are the only two reasons I would stop, or if they blocked me or something like that, right? But I would just keep following up. I had this whole list. I kept track of it in an Excel, and I would just every week circle back to everybody and just keep going and keep going and keep going. And that's where you're going to make the money, is in the follow-up, right? It's in the follow-up. And I've had people, again, just like I said with the Facebook group, I've had people tell me, 6 months, 8 months later, thank you for continuing to follow up with me, because again, it was a bad time, I had death in the family, whatever. But I'm ready now. Let's get this done, right? And that's where most people fail. Someone will follow up with someone once or twice, maybe 3 times, right? And they get rid of that person and move on to the next. And what you're doing when you do that is you're just looking for the insta buyers, right? You're looking for the insta buyers, and that's the smallest percentage of buyers there is. There's 4 categories, and I'll end on this, okay? There's 4 categories of people that I've kind of created, these categories that I put everybody in over the years of being a marketer. You have insta buyers, you have 30-day people, you have 60-day people, and you have 90-day plus people, right? And these are the times it takes for them to convert, right? And the insta buyers are the smallest percentage of people. Very rarely someone sees what you got and says, I've got the money, I'm ready, I love this, let's do it. All right? It's a very rare thing, right? Most people join up between 30, 60, or 90 or more days after you first contacted them. All right? So that's why the follow-up is important. And when you do consistent follow-up, when you get past 90 days, that's when the magic starts to happen, right? But you have to be consistent, because what will happen when you get past 90 days, now you've got insta buyers, 30-day people, 60-day people, 90-day people in your funnel, right? So once you get past that, you'll have a day, like I'll have a day where I'll sign up like 10 people, right? And someone will say, man, Mike, you're like you're a master closer, right? When the truth is, maybe 3 or 4 of them were in my funnel for 90 days, maybe a few more of them were in my funnel for 30 days. A couple of them, just came in last week, and they all just happened to pull the trigger on the same day, right? That's what will start to happen to you if you be consistent past, for at least 90 days or more on hardcore follow-up, right? And you look like a rock star when you start signing up multiple people daily. So I think I'm just going to end it on that. Brandon, unless you want me to talk about something else, but I don't want to take up a bunch of time here.
No, I love it. And actually, I wrote down a few things I wanted to share with you guys here. I thought this was really powerful. So let me bring a few of these things that I personally wrote down. Hopefully you guys are able to do the same. So one of the things he talked about that I haven't done a real good job of, although I do track our results every week for what we're doing on our personal trading, he said, document your journey with trading. And I think sometimes people in their minds, all they're documenting is their losses. And so because they're thinking about their losses, all they think is that trading doesn't work, right? He talked about documenting your journey with trading. And then he said, I like this, he said, introduce and focus on trading. And frankly, I've told my team to do the exact same thing. I'm like, look, there are certain people that come in and they want to focus on business building, and that's completely okay. The reality is most people don't want to build a business, and that's okay too, which is the reason why we have so many customers. Because the reality is if you get a story like Michael talked about, and then you share that story, it frankly makes it easier to, one word, naturally build the business. And I like to use the word naturally. You'll naturally build it. Why? Because you have a story from trading. I don't got to teach you how to do an invite. I don't have to teach you how to send someone a video or get them on a webinar or something like that. People will naturally do it because they are making money pressing buttons, okay? And I like what he said here. I wrote this down. He said, I'm going to make money today with or without you. I don't care. I talk about it all the time. You want to have posture, guys. You want to act like you don't care if they get started with your team, which actually makes them want it more. Now, one of the things that I wrote down as well, and I actually just shared it in our Telegram, I thought it was powerful. He said, my IM commissions are bonus money. I use my trading money to pay my bills. And I put Michael Angel Martin quote, and I put the parentheses, #1 enroller all time in IM Academy. Isn't that interesting? Here he is. He's the #1 enroller in IM Academy history. Yet he says, my IM commissions are my bonus money. I use my trading money to pay my bills. It's like, wait a second. This guy sounds like a builder. He's enrolling people all the time. Well, he's a builder, but think about it. He's using his IM commissions as bonus money, which goes to prove that the trading works, because Michael did not trade when he first came in. So now he's got the best of both worlds. He's enrolling tons of people naturally because he's made money, has the confidence and posture on the trading side where he doesn't care if they join or not. But yet then he's got a strategy down that he's not only doing himself, but teaching it to others. So this is really, really powerful, guys. I hope that you took some nuggets from this from Michael. Michael, we appreciate you. And he's right. Mike, I mean, even through myself, people are constantly saying, can I get on the phone, Michael Martin? Can he show me his Facebook funnel? What's his email list? What's his campaigns? What's he sending out in his ads? Everybody wants to know, but it's not like there's anything that's special. Really what he's doing, like he talks about, is his Facebook groups. His Facebook group has thousands of people inside there. And so all of the stories are what has created that movement for him and for his team members to bring on customers. He has a customer-driven business, which frankly, guys, the reality is that creates higher retention. If you want good retention, create a customer-driven business. All right, on to our next speaker. Thank you, Michael, for that. I'm really excited to bring on this next individual. We've gotten to know each other over the years, highly respect each other. She's a woman of God. She's a wife, which to me, anytime that, #1, when it's a woman and she's a wife and she's a mother of 3, a teenager and 2 little ones, all I got to do is just put my hands right here, respect. Every time that I see a chairman or chairwoman who gets on those flyers, I'm like, man, they got an uphill battle, because in my opinion, it is actually harder for them to do what they do than for the man to do what they do. So to me, it's even more respectful that they're a wife, a mother, they got the kids and all that. She's got the Lifetime Achievement Award recipient by our 44th president, Barack Obama. She's a global ambassador of the United States, or the United Nations. She is listen to this, guys, she is a breast cancer survivor. That's a big deal. So is my mom. So shout out to you. That's a big deal in overcoming that. She's also the founder of Rich University. And here's the thing. She, in my opinion, is going to be one of the first women to ever hit Chairman 500, not just Chairman 100, not just Chairman 250, but Chairman 500 in this company. And it's going to be so exciting to see it. She is continually bringing the passion and bringing the enthusiasm that we need from the female side of the company inside of this business. So with that, Chyna, I'm going to go ahead and make you the co-host. Let me know if you can hear me out there, guys. Put some fire emojis in the box for Dr. Chyna Bethley.
Hey, Brandon, I can hear you okay. Please let me know if you can hear me clearly as well.
Loud and clear. We're excited to have you on, and thank you for your presence. Thank you for everything that you're doing for the female woman side of the business, because without your leadership there at the top with all of that, we would not be where we're at today. So thank you for all your service.
Well, Brandon, thank you for having me. Thank you for this call. You've always been just an amazing leader and just a team leader across the board. When I think about I think about all of the videos that you would consistently just put out to give us a foundation. To be honest with you, it was one of the things that really attracted me in the beginning as a builder, to not have to do a lot of the work that was already done. So I just want to commend you for your impeccable leadership, your consistency throughout the process to really help us to get out a clear message to the masses of people. I still use your videos today. It's on all of my websites. So I want to say thank you very much to you, your beautiful wife, your family as well. It's just amazing to be among so many people that understand the family dynamic as well inside of this space. And thank you. I received that. The first Chairman 500, I am receiving that in Jesus' name. And I just want to say thank you for everyone who even spoke already. I got my pen and notepad here. I know that note takers are money makers. And so I'm always a student inside of this space, always learning, always growing, and always looking for ways to enhance my business. I never get to a point where I feel like I have mastered one particular thing and I can't learn anything. And I know that our goal and our mission is mastery for sure, but I'm always still open when I'm amongst giants, to be able to listen and to be able to learn and continue to grow and enhance, because sometimes not just the seasons that are changing, sometimes there's things that change and you need to be able to always increase in your ability to apply new techniques as our times are changing so fast. I believe times are changing at the speed of thought. Look at where we are right now in time. We're dealing with things that most of us have never lived to experience. And so we're having to make sure that we're open to doing things maybe a little bit differently or making some tweaks. I'm so grateful because we are truly what we provide in IM. It allows us the ability to kind of live in the future, right? We're preparing people for what is to come. And so I believe we have a tremendous responsibility to make sure that we are very effective at educating the community and educating the masses on what this space is about, through examples, through information, through just being here the next 12 months, the next 2 years, as the rest of the world starts to catch up, if you will, to what it is that we do inside this space. So I know, for example, listening to Michael Angel Martin, seeing him at the top of the leadership board consistently and understanding some of the systems that he's put in place in order to make that happen. That's amazing. And I believe that everybody should really glean from the information. So I want to talk a little bit from a woman's perspective, as a mom, as a wife, as a woman that's operating multiple businesses. For number one, I believe that it's so critically important as women for you to give yourself the permission to do this and do it really, really big. So many times as moms and wives and women who are sometimes taking care of their parents and are responsible for so many people, sometimes we put ourselves at the end of everything, right? So we put everything before us. And so nobody tends to treat us the way we feel like we're supposed to be treated. If you're not treating yourself the way you want to be treated, you usually train people on how to treat you based on how you treat yourself. And so I challenge you to put some things in perspective, because what I find in doing some study is that when the wife is happy and the mom is happy, the family is really happy. And you might say, well, what does happy have to do with it? You want to find yourself and put yourself in a space where you can really thrive and really just spread your wings and become who it is that God has called you to be. You want to be authentic to who you are so that you can naturally attract the people that is supposed to be in direct alignment with you, opposed to, as much as I learned from a lot of different leaders. I studied the game. I even study myself. I go back and watch videos that I did to see how can I improve? What can I do differently? But you always also want to get into a space that as you're learning, that you understand that there's only one you, and you don't want to lose yourself in what's trending or what's popular right now. And I can speak from experience. There was a time in my career that I did that. I was actually in my lane. I was doing very well, but it didn't seem like I was doing well because my goals were so aggressive. And as the business model started to shift a little bit, I noticed that I kind of felt like I was and I'm always a transparent speaker. I believe that the treasure is in the transparency. And sometimes when you hear speakers from the stage, we focus on all of the beautiful pictures and all of the things that seem so wonderful, but the true treasure, I believe, is in the transparency. Why? So that you can understand your journey, your process that you may be going through is a part of the process. Going from point A to point B and going throughout that journey is not going to always be butterflies and roses and rainbows. And so if you know that this is what it's supposed to look like, you'll pat yourself on the back and say, keep going. If you go through some things and maybe have some setbacks in your business or some setbacks in life that affect your business, you'll know how to dust yourself off, get up and keep going. But if I paint a picture to you that is always so easy and always so simple and everything is always so perfect, as soon as something happens in your business, you'll kind of feel like this is not supposed to happen, when really it's a part of the process. And so with that being said, there was a time in my career where I was really moving at a very consistent pace, but I wanted to move faster. And opposed to really developing the muscles that I already was using to become stronger, I stopped doing what was working. I started to attempt to do what I thought other people were doing. And it's almost like getting out of your lane where your path is really clear and getting into the lane of somebody else where there's traffic at. Not only that, sometimes there's no grace in that lane for you. Your grace, you got to know where your grace is. And so I challenge everybody on this call to be so authentic to you that you develop you more than anything else. I love that we have Bob Proctor here. I love Christopher Terry's mindset. To me, it's been one of the most priceless assets of this community. I study people for a living. That's just what I do. I study their behaviors. I study their movements. I listen to what they're saying, their mindset, their thought processes. I study people. And I remember we had hosted Christopher Terry in Detroit. It was my first time being able to experience his mindset. Now, his education on Forex was always a bit over my head, so I was sometimes shut down. You know, when I came into this space, it was Christopher Terry before Christopher Derrick came on board, and that's all we had was a harmonic scanner and Christopher Terry. Could you imagine? First of all, the harmonic scanner for me looked like Japanese geometry. It looked like an EKG. And in that moment of being introduced to such a foreign world, I wasn't necessarily sold on Forex. So my story is a little bit different. I did not dive in head first to learn how to trade Forex. I simply came to this space because I heard the voice of God lead me here. And when I got here, I was like, I'm definitely not doing that. So I don't even know what I'm here for. There was some resistance because some of the people that you're talking to, and perhaps even you that are listening right now, maybe you don't realize that you're a part of a bigger plan, right? And so sometimes we treat it in a minimal way, depending on how we see the opportunity. Like some of you may be still working a full-time job. Now you're doing Forex, or, you know, deciding to build a business, not really sure if you want to step into the business building side of it. And maybe you're treating it as the side thing when sometimes God has positioned you for it to replace what's about to be taken away. Not that I'm speaking that on anybody's life, but so many people have experienced that over the past few months. They was introduced maybe to IM in January, and then February, March, their whole life was shifted, right? And so the reality is when I came into this space, it didn't make sense for what I would have set up or what I would have planned, because what the heck is Forex? Especially 4 years ago when I said yes. And so the reality of it is I decided to get into this space because I needed to make money. I came in and Forex, I just couldn't see it, but I believe that it worked. I believe that the testimonies that I was hearing for other people, I genuinely believe it worked. But what I question is, as a mom of 3 kids, as a wife, as operating multiple businesses, do I really have the time to put in and do what's necessary to be a student? Do I really am I in a space to really go in and basically go back to school? And I didn't believe at that time that I was. And I knew that if I experienced it and it didn't work, not because it doesn't work, but if it didn't work for me because I didn't have the time, I didn't believe I had the mental capacity, then I know I have to be passionate about whatever I'm going to share with other people. So what I decided to do is I decided to, for number one, be coachable. And I began to ask, what's the quickest way that I can make some money? Because here's the truth. There are a group of people that will join your business and they're simply here to make money. So it doesn't really matter which side of it that they make some money on, because of their personal financial situation, they need to make money quick. And if they don't make money quick, it doesn't mean that the product doesn't work. It doesn't mean that the system doesn't work, but they may be out. I was that person. And so I want to speak to you guys from that perspective of people who coming into this space and they just need to see some level of success quickly so that they can know that this is where they should put their time at. This is where they should put their energy at. One of the things that I'm gonna recommend that you do is hire yourself. If this is a millionaire's training, right? I don't know millionaires that's looking to leave money on the table. We don't operate like that. We're looking to maximize the full opportunity. Where is the way, or, you know, in what position do I need to be in to maximize this opportunity fully? And so what I can tell you is it took me 3 months to actually start to trade using a harmonic scanner. By that time, I believe, I don't know what rank I was. I think I was a platinum 2000. I mean, I remember being a platinum 2000, and just the thought of going from 2000 to 5000 seemed like such a big jump. I was like, oh my goodness, you know, and I'm coming to the space with experience in network marketing, but this was such a different space for me. And it took me a long time. For me, that was a long time to just be at 2000, let alone to jump to 5000. And I remember we hosted an event, Jason and Matt did something in Dallas. They hosted an event in Dallas, and it was November of 2017, I believe it was. November of 2017, they hosted this event coming up January 2018, and I knew I needed to be a chairman. And so I began to be really, really aggressive. And that was my first time tasting a harmonic scanner. And it definitely took my response to the next level, my confidence to the next level, because all prior to that, I was promoting other people's story. But here's the truth of the matter. You have a story when you say yes to Forex, whether your story is how much money you made, or your story is the mentorship, the leadership, the community, how amazing the product is. Our product is education. So your story doesn't always have to be, hey, I made $100 in a day, I made $1,000 in a day, I made $10,000. Sometimes your story is, oh my goodness, this is what I learned about the history of Forex. This is what I learned about the participants in the Forex market. This is what I learned about a pip, man. Like, I'm learning sometimes that's attractive too. So don't feel like your story has to just be money. Your story is also just your experience. And so what I did was I went aggressive because a goal was set. And so my goal was to show up at that event as a chairman. And so I remember in my mind, it was going to take me so much to go from 2,000 to 5,000 because of the jump of the 75 people to the 225 people. It was so funny. And I remember sitting at 5,000 for about 3 weeks. I got there really quick. I sat there for 3 weeks and I was over to chairman 10 because I wanted to show up at that event as a chairman 10. And so I challenge you guys to, for number one, hire yourself. Write this down, take some notes. Hire yourself, especially as women, hire yourself. Many times you could work so hard for someone else, for these corporations and these companies, and you're employee of the month, you show up on time, you're early, you're staying there late, you're going over and beyond. But when it comes down to your business, sometimes you have to even be convinced to do this. This is something that can change your financial trajectory. You know, I don't know what your learning curve is going to be. I don't know if you're going to be someone that's going to come in right away and really discipline yourself to do what's necessary to grow your account. I don't know if you take a blow and you take a hit inside the market, if it's going to just knock you out of the total game and you feel like it's not going to work. But what I do know is that if you hire yourself and you commit to being here 18 to 24 months from today, 18 to 24 months from today, and you give yourself daily method of operation, you delegate responsibilities to yourself. You know, what I train my team on is we have a billionaire boardroom call that we do every single morning. And so before they get on that call, guess what? You got to get ready for work like you would a traditional job. So that means we want to see fresh faces. We want you to be up, ready for your day. It's something that we do consistently with our leaders in our community every single morning, so that you, just like you would get ready for work. Now, obviously we have some people that really work a full-time job. And so these are for people who are doing this full-time. We have, you know, opportunities for them to do it part-time. So if you work 9 to 5 for your job, then from 5 to 9, you need to be working on your business, but you need to know what you're doing day by day in your business. You need to know where you need to be. You know, I always tell people this: your calendar is your boss. So when you hire yourself, I'm not the boss. Nobody in here, your sponsor is not your boss. Your calendar is your boss. And if you don't have nothing going on in your calendar, you don't have a business happening. And so I challenge you guys, if you don't have a calendar, get a calendar. You know, if you are trading, identify your trading style so that you don't feel like you have to be overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed, to be honest with you. I didn't want to trade 24 hours a day. I didn't want to trade the London session and the New York session and all these. I didn't want to do that. So I had to identify what was going to work best for my lifestyle. So when I'm training team members and customers that come on board, I help them to identify, first of all, it's not about what's the most aggressive market. It's about what's going to be best for your lifestyle. So if you get up and go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, why would I encourage you to get on a London session when I know that that's probably something that's going to burn you out, that you won't really be able to commit to? So let's go ahead and look at your life schedule first. Let's see what you currently have going on. And let's customize a plan that's going to work for you to become a lifelong profitable trader, right? Because I want you to be in this for the long haul. I don't want you to try something because it's popular. I don't want you to try a strategy because it's trending. I don't want you to hop on this session just because you feel like everybody else is doing that, but it doesn't work for your life. And then 60 days later, 90 days later, you're out because you feel like trading didn't work. But the truth is, the system that you set up and customized didn't really work for you. And so what I challenge you to do is identify what's already on your schedule and see what's the best time for you to put in. Another thing, I tried scalping. I mean, I really thought that was the way to go. The people that were scalping were making so much money. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a scalper. No, Chyna, you're not gonna be a scalper. In fact, the way your nerves are set up, that's not gonna really work for you. See, I don't want that kind of pressure in my life. I actually wanna live a stress-free life, and that didn't work for me. I know a lot of people that do well with it and it makes money, but I had to identify who I was as a trader to really be able to promote and market this even more effectively. And I realized I'm much more of a swing trader. I want to set it and forget it. You know, I want to still make money from the market, but I know for a fact, for me, I'm called to nations and generations. I'm called to make global impact. I'm called to speak to that woman that's out there that have told herself that she cannot do this because she has a family and responsibilities and she's working and all of these things. And so she's created this story story in her mind that I want to really help to dissolve. I want to show her who she really is. I want her to see a new reality when she look in the mirror. And so we're big on mindset. If you're going to hire yourself, the first thing that I do in the morning, I do my praise and worship time, and I give God his time, because what I know is that when I give God his time, he gives me mine. And so when I wake up in the morning, I don't care what's going on. I don't care what's happening. All I know is I'm thankful that my eyes open up and I wake up with a heart of gratitude. And once I honor God and give him his time, I start to speak life into myself. I'm not going to my phone. I don't want to see a text message. I don't want to see social media. I don't want to see any of that. Why? Because I need to dominate my day. And I need to be consistently reminded of who I am. And so I get in the mirror and I speak life into myself, and then I get ready for the day. There was a time where I just wasn't a morning person, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have been an entrepreneur most of my adult life, and I enjoy getting up when I finish sleeping, until I realized that God was taking me to a higher level in life. And if I was gonna go there, I had to change some things in my behavior. I had to do some things a little bit differently, because it wasn't really working out for me to get up so late just because I could. And so I decided to create a regimen. In the beginning, it wasn't easy. So I'm speaking to those of you who want to hire yourself, but you're like, ooh, I'm really not that morning chick. I don't really know, how this is going to work. I literally didn't know what to do. I was like, what am I going to do when I wake up that early? Like, what am I going to do? My body was telling me, my reticular activating system was literally kicking in when I started waking up early, making me feel like I was going to die. This is how bad it was. I don't think you guys understand. This has been the biggest hurdle to overcome for myself, waking up early in the morning. And I challenged myself and I put a call in place. The team thought I was really doing it for them. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is me being transparent. It was all for selfish gains. I needed to wake up early in the morning because I know that there were blessings in that morning that I needed. So I needed my team to be accountable. I needed some accountability. So I said, hey guys, look, this is what we're going to do. And some of them was like, we're going to do what? And some of them, it was okay because they were already up. But I set a call in the morning so that I had somewhere that I needed to be. And I needed to be ready when I was there. And it has made a tremendous difference in my life. I work my business like a business now. I went from being self-employed to now having systems in place. So I want to talk really quick before I pass it over to Brandon again. Hire yourself. And once you hire yourself, give yourself daily method of operations. Pull out your calendar. I'm telling you, everybody on the call, you have to treat this like a business. Listen, yes, when you bring a customer in, find out what makes the most sense for them and put them in their place. If they want to just trade, if they want to this. And honestly, when I'm talking to people, I don't just ask them what they want, because most people don't really know what they want. Some of them, if they tell me, well, I just want to trade, but they can't fund their education, then we got to actually get them a scholarship right away. So I don't really care who you are when you join the business. Most people actually launch right. If they're launching to get a scholarship, or if they're launching to actually build a residual income, everybody comes in to launch, because most people, the reason they tell you what they tell you is not because it's really what they want. It's because that's their safety zone to kind of retrace and retreat a little bit. And they don't feel like they can. And so when you help to develop that person's confidence in the system, in your support, in your leadership, you'll be surprised the people who say, oh no, I don't want to talk to people, because the people I know, they're going to want to see how I do first. They're going to want to see this. Everybody says the same thing no matter where in the world I go. The truth of the matter is they don't have the confidence yet. So we help to develop them in their mindset. We help to develop them in a community with a culture so that they can at least afford their education. So if it is true that they really don't want to touch the building side, they don't have to be out of the system in 30, 60 days because they can't afford the 174 and they haven't made the money yet. I don't want you rushing your education because you are looking to make the 174. If you can do that, that's great. Many of the people in our community get started trading live very quickly because they do build up the confidence with the additional support that we provide to them. But nevertheless, I don't want them feeling like they can't afford it and fit in this grand vision inside of their budget. And so with that being said, what I recommend that you do is totally just clear your schedule, come up with a daily method of operation so that you can know who you are welcoming to the community, who you're onboarding, how many presentations a day that you're doing personally. If you're not presenting and you want to build a business, I challenge you to leverage social media and present, do like Michael Angel Martin talked about and do a pre-recording one so that you can have it out. YouTube is a really big deal. I think one of the greatest places that you can put a video is like searching Google. People are looking for how to this and how to that is a great way to do that. And so once you have your daily method of operation set up, now you can actually, once you hire yourself and you know what you're doing day by day, it's going to get to the point, especially as a woman, for you to actually now hire a team of people. And I'm not talking about the team of people that joins your business. I'm talking about a team of people for you moms and you wives out there and you women out there, because we wear so many hats that you can go ahead and give that hat to someone else. So in my home, I have a full staff because, to be honest with you, in order for me to do what only Chyna can do, I need to know that other things are done that I need to get done. And it doesn't have to be really expensive. My husband is really particular. This was kind of tough. He wasn't excited about people being in a home, but now it's a big, big blessing because, for number one, things are done at the level of excellence that we expect as it relates to keeping the house clean, as it relates to making sure that the kids are not, because I'm on the computer a lot. But now everybody in the family knows what the big vision is. I set my family down. I say, hey, we need a family meeting. And I talk with everybody about the goals, about the mission, about the vision. And what I did was I incorporated and I involved them in the goal, the mission, and the vision. My 5-year-old son, he's trading. He understands buy low, sell high. If you know how to play a Nintendo Switch with all them configurations on that game, then surely you know how to look at this market. And so now he gets it. So sometimes I leverage my son and I say, hey, come on in here. Come on, tell them what trading is. What is trading? What do we do? And so he's 5 years old telling somebody, when they see a 5-year-old can articulate that, they're like, okay, you know what, I'm in. But I'm getting the family involved in what I'm doing so that they can be a part of this journey and a part of the celebration of success. So I want to leave you guys with this. Hire yourself. Okay, that means you know what you're doing. You show up for work, you're ready. You're consistent. You know how many presentations you're doing per week. You know how many people you're launching every week or every day. You know how many people you're following up with every day. You have a daily method of operation. You're expanding your network like intentionally. You have a system in place. So once again, I challenge you to hire yourself. Train people on how to treat you based on how you treat you. Ladies, it's okay to put yourself first. I promise you, when you are happy, your kids are going to be happy. Your home is going to be happy. Don't neglect yourself and expect that somebody else is going to give you what you're not giving yourself. Train people on how to treat you based on how you treat you, and give yourself permission to win and win big. Success loves speed. Give yourself permission to step to the front of the line, be aggressive, grow your business, build your business unapologetically, and stay in the circumference of people that's going to feed the giant that's on the inside of you and not cause you to shrink. So Brandon, I'll turn it back over to you. I thank you so much again for having me here. Big shouts out to all the women that's out there. I know you're going chairwoman very fast. You're about to make it happen. You're going to apply everything that you learned today. And today is the beginning of the rest of your life. God bless you guys. Back over to you, Brandon.
All I have to say is amen. I mean, there was just so many, I couldn't even write fast enough. So many nuggets. I can't wait to go back and watch this recording. Guys, if you got value from Dr. Chyna Bethley, put value inside the chat there, because this was huge, especially from a female perspective. Sometimes I think so many times when we have like leadership calls and stuff, they're saying, well, this is a male, well, there's so many males or whatever. Chyna shows, first of all, now when you see all the flyers come on, look how many women are hitting those ranks and having success with trading. It's really a direct reflection as well from Chyna and everything that she's done, her example, her leadership. I mean, it truly is amazing. And I was really, really inspired by that. So Dr. Chyna, thank you for sharing that. I always love hearing the female perspective because it always keeps me open-minded and realizing, hey, look, there's people from other countries, other languages, other genders, other colors, everything. There's so much perspective out there, and I love hearing that perspective. So thank you. Guys, I'm excited for our final speaker. This is our final speaker for today, and I know for some of you it is tonight as we speak here. And by the way, the call is being recorded. It's also on Facebook, on the I Am Elite, on the Facebook page. This individual I got a chance to meet a few years ago, Bass Grant, and when I first met him, I was already inspired within the first 10 seconds we started talking. Then I saw him speak on stage and I was like, man, this is my guy right here. This is someone I really would enjoy listening to. And a lot of people don't know, Bass was actually raised by a single parent. He never actually knew his father. I know there's some of you guys who right now are watching this that you can relate to that. And I think that can have a real positive effect. To have a negative effect, well, Bass has definitely made it a positive thing by taking something that was a hardship but becoming very positive thing in his life for the example that he has set for others. He's been in this industry now for 24 years. He actually got in at 17 years of age. He's been 18 years full time. He retired his mom when he was 27 years of age. I know a lot of you have that goal as well, being able to retire your parents. He is a father to a beautiful 9-year-old. He hit 6 figures by the age of 21. He hit 250,000 by 23 years of age. And at 27, listen to this, he became the first millionaire in his family. How many of you want to be the first millionaire in your family? You want to break the chain of poverty in your family? Put millionaire in the chat. Put millionaire in the chat. Well, guess what? He just hit Chairman 50. I want to give a shout out to our newest Chairman 50 and I Am Mastery Academy. Guys, go in the chat, put Chairman 50 for Bass Grant. The training topic he's going to cover for today is taprooting, how to build in depth. Okay, the newest, the latest Chairman 50 inside of I Am Mastery Academy. Bass, I'm going to go ahead and make you a co-host. Let me know if you can hear me on your end, man. We are really, really excited to have you on, man.
Absolutely. Can you hear me, Brandon?
Yes, and I see that. I mean, you already got a good smile, but the smile just is a little bit,
a little bit brighter.
that Chairman 50 check coming in, man, is a lot better. People say
Strong.
that money doesn't make you happy. Well, their smile keeps getting bigger. So
It ranks up there with oxygen. I tell people, they say it all the time, but it ranks up there with oxygen. So want to definitely commend all the speakers who came on today, you know, and just giving out all the nuggets. It's always good to see the different aspects of building, mindset, internet marketing. I love, you know, that the gentleman who came on and talked about just being an introvert, but being able to win. And that really was a major decision when we got started in this particular company. You know, when we saw it, I knew I had to give the building and, you know, and recruiting massive teams over the years, but I really want to know for the introvert, for what we call the wounded winner, okay? Wounded winner, somebody who still wants to win for their family, but they just, for whatever reason, don't like getting in front of large crowds. So to hear that people can win, this company has everything from a totality in place, you know, so I am excited. And again, Brandon, you know, getting in, I think you're one of those voices we heard constantly. You know, some people just got that great voice, you know, just that great, you know, media voice, radio voice, you know, you have that. And we was always like Chyna was saying, I'm still use your videos now and, you know, push it here because why reinvent the wheel, you know? So, so for all the guests out there, you know, we have a special treat by, you know, utilizing not only online Zoom, but just a platform of the industry. Right now, our company is not even in momentum yet. It's definitely catching what we call the mist, but it's going that route. So you haven't missed a boat of opportunity when it comes to what this company offers, but our leadership, I'll put against any company in the world, okay? And I'm not going to spend too much time with you guys. A lot of you guys will find out from me, my demeanor. I get straight to what we call the nuts and bolts because I want to definitely give you the content and things you need, whether it's on the trading side or the building side, okay? But one thing you want to make sure you understand is that, you know, as everybody said in this call, and you're going to always hear it, when you get off this call, any entrepreneur, you got to have a compelling why. You got to have a reason of why you're doing something. Anything that drives you when the oppositions and the things are going in the wrong way, what keeps driving you? Write this down. Doubts, okay? It's two I don't call them enemies, but there's two individuals, two eternal individuals that are going to be here forever, regardless whether you decide to get off your butt and make something happen. Time and doubt. Time and doubt. Now, time can be an ally, okay? Because time is the undisputed champion. So time says, use me to your max, okay? Because in the end, I'm going to win regardless. So he's not an enemy per se, but he can definitely be an ally if you understand how to use and maximize him every single day. Doing something, doing something, doing something. That's why we say with the word legacy. As one thing about saying legacy, we broke every letter down. Let every goal accomplish, challenge yesterday. Let every goal accomplish, challenge yesterday. So that's how I look at time. But then you got doubt. Doubt is not your friend. It is the eternal enemy of apathy. And its goal is very simple, to keep whispering in your ear, I told you. As soon as you blew that account, I told you it didn't work. See, that's the fifth person that said no to you. I told you. See, you thought it was a pyramid scheme, and now you're seeing it probably is. That's what doubt does every single day. It just whispers in your ear and just give you that negative tonality of, man, maybe I made a bad decision. And when it gets you, it go to somebody else. But when you understand how to block all that out, if you understand that they're going to be there, I'm going to utilize time, and I understand that doubt will be there. As doubt constantly tries to kind of get into your subconscious, it's going to go and bother somebody else. Now, he's going to be around if he ever feels, let me see, oh, she believing still. Okay, we'll wait. They're still believing, but he's going to keep watching just to make sure you're still there, okay? So why did I start off with time and doubt? Okay, let's talk, because again, I want to set you up. So if anything, from a standpoint of people saying no, whatever, I could do a training for posture, but I don't have that much time. I want to talk about tap rooting. So people say all the time, how do you last so long? How were you able to be in the industry at a young age of 18 plus years now, full time, day and night, day and night, day and night, okay? This is what I mastered. Many things I mastered, but I mastered tap rooting. I'm going to share my screen here. I was actually putting this together while the call was going. So, but I'm going to start off with something very simple. So hopefully everybody can see my screen, okay? I kind of like this analogy here, okay? Hopefully, and Zoom be kind to me. But I like to start off with the Force equation, okay? So some of y'all may or may not ever seen this here, but I want you to look at this equation, because this is how it is when people get started in our opportunity. So when you're showing the plan, this is what they're seeing when they first hear about Forex. Happy face plus umbrella plus cigarette equals, you know, and most people don't have not an idea what that means. Happy face plus umbrella plus cigarette. This is what they're hearing when you talk about Fibonacci, uptrend, downtrend, US 30. Huh? What? See, they don't have the keys to understand. And sometimes you got to make it simple. That means that when a new person gets started, when they're looking to trade, when a new person gets started who's looking to build, they have no idea what's going on. I hope you guys can still see my screen, because I told you, sometimes Zoom is not kind to me. Okay, let me know if you can still see my screen or if it's blank. Let me know if it's blank. I know it's blank on my end, but let me know if it's blank or not. Okay, keep it posted here.
We can see it best.
Y'all can see it? I can't see it. I don't know why Zoom does that to me, but I can't even zoom. I'm gonna unshare and go back in, okay? But I'm gonna say this here while I'm waiting for that day, okay? I'm gonna take it back on and put it back on, okay? So again, when it comes to that screen, people don't know what that means, but if you have the right keys, okay? If you have the right keys, let's try this again. Please be kind. Zoom, please be kind. Okay, if you have the right keys, it's not gonna be kind to me. I don't know why it does this. These are the keys. Happy face is 3, umbrella is 2, cigarette is 1. Happy face is 3, the umbrella is 2, cigarette is 1. So when you look at that, you go back to the equation of what it is, happy face plus umbrella plus cigarette. Everybody knows the answer is what? Put it in the chat. What is the answer? If happy face is 3, umbrella is 2, and cigarette is 1, then the answer is what? Put it in the chat. What's that answer? Thank you. So anybody else looking at it like, what? But when you finally get a chance to jump into the academy and get to the information, they're like, I don't know what that is. But you know what it is, because you know what the keys are. And that's what it comes down to. One of the other keys of building when it comes to this opportunity is also tap rooting, okay? And let me kind of break that down real quickly on tap rooting. And again, I don't know why. I'm gonna make a phone call. I actually had a little Zoom call I did with the people of Zoom, and try to figure out why I guess I've been doing so many calls. It does not allow me to share my screen like I used to. I don't know what's going on, okay? So I've had this whole thing prepared and set up, and man, it's not going to be kind. What I may actually do, I might just share my screen, Brandon. Okay, but let's talk about if it zips out on me again, then I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna share my screen, and I'll be good to go. So let me know if you guys see the screen here. I think you guys can. Perfect. So let's talk about tap rooting. Tap rooting is not something we made up. Tap rooting, in a sense, comes from just that what it is. It's all based on plants. Okay. So we didn't invent the word. We simply utilized the method of tap rooting. Let me break it down real quickly for the ones on the screen. Tap root develops that radicle of a seed. It's a primary root that branches off into secondary roots. I want you to write that down. The secondary roots is what it's all about, okay? The secondary roots, okay? And it didn't do it to me again. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to share my screen. How about that? I'm going to start my screen. That's how we will do it. Gotta love technology. You guys can still hear me? So I'll just go right into, here we go. Here we go. Perfect. Now, it ain't gonna mess up on me now, okay? Here we go. All right, here we go. So now we get it. So perfect. So tap rooting. So again, it's the branch of secondary roots, which turns branch into a form of tertiary roots, okay? You ain't gotta understand what that is. The key thing is what tap rooting is. And when you're building your business, if you're a trader, and I know you want to trade, you can trade as well. I'm really talking to the ones who really want to build, to understand how were you able to survive so long. When a new person joined my business, this is what I knew off top. That's why I showed that equation in the beginning. People are still brand new. So I'm not expecting a brand new person their first 2-3 weeks to really be an effective builder. No, they're still babies in the NICU. If I got the skill set, when a new person, that first person I signed up, when they brought in their very first person, in my eyes, that was my person. I did not leave it to that person to do anything. Nope. And when you brought in that very first person and they signed up their very first person, in my eyes, that was my person. I treated it as if it was my person that was 2 levels deep. And then when that second brought in their person, 3rd level, I treated the same way. That's my person. And the same thing with the 4th person, because the goal was getting 4 levels deep. We were taught to build the business 4 levels deep. 4 levels deep, you find a superstar. That is how you tap root. But a lot of people, what you do is you build from the surface. You come into business, you're excited, you get that first person, and if they get someone, the mindset is, you go do it. But Jim Rohn taught us, not you, we go do it. And that's what I did. I wanted to make sure, how do I tap root? I'm gonna do exactly how God intended it with plants. Let's get some more examples. This is a tap root. You see the stuff on surface, but the meat, the nectar is right there at the bottom. Some people don't know that when you're eating the carrot, the yellow part, the orange part is the tap root. Same thing with a tomato. But look at the different tap roots. I want you to pay attention to the tap root. Let's go a little bit more in depth. Look at the very top of it, the trunk. That's the new person that just joined the business. But where you want to get at, the reason why the trunk, why the tree stays firm, grounded, is the primary root, first person. Then it has the secondary root, the second person. Then you got tertiary roots. Let's branch out, because no different in network marketing, you guys know it's legs. The one thing we were taught, you treat the prime root, the secondary root, and the tertiary root as if you brought it in like the trunk. Are you listening to me? Even though I know I got it on screen share, this is what we were taught. And this is what I still know. And I still teach this to this day. If you understand this method, I promise you, you're going to find a superstar 4 levels deep. The universe has to deliver that. But I know if you're right now, just when people coming in and you're like, hey, just go do it. I don't do that unless I see that person has a skill set. And some people have it without even knowing that they have certain leadership capabilities that have been sitting there kind of like incubating. And you kind of know, like, I think this guy, this girl has something, this couple has something. But before I can find that out, any new person, anybody on my team on this call, listen, they know that I tap root all the time. I see a person doing something, give me their number. Got a brand new superstar, we get them on the phone, hear certain words, they got it. Let me get their phone number. Because I'm not gonna leave it to Jane Doe or Mike Joe or John Doe. I don't know. I know what I was able to bring to the table, and we tap rooted. Let's talk about it a little bit more. Just take a screenshot of this here. I'm trying to make sure I give you all the content. But again, network marketing 101. Tap rooting is that plant taproot system, the most central and dominant root from which other roots sprout. Typically, taproot is somewhat straight and very thick. Tapering is straight, goes right down, grows directly down. That's how you build. You build in depth. You find that leadership person in depth. It's never really technically the person that joined. You try to get into their context. Oprah said it best, the value. You never give up your context because it's so valuable. But people don't know that. So I'm like, who do you know? Because I know there's somebody out there that was raised by a single parent like me, male or female, who's the oldest of 3 kids, who said, I want to be the first millionaire in my family. And I got to get through those contacts to taproot to find that person like me. This is the main root that keeps the plant alive. See that there? I hope you screenshot. It's the main root that keeps the plant alive. As the taproot goes deep and becomes thick, it takes root and stabilizes the plant. Hello? 4 levels deep. You find a superstar 4 levels deep, people typically don't go anywhere. We take it even 8 levels deep. This same process works like magic in any form of marketing. MLM and network marketing, building a team, general depth, taprooting is the process of building your team quick. More examples as well, okay? Just more understanding of taprooting. When you understand and apply the power of one. So it doesn't mean going out there and just be good. Some people don't understand how bring personals in. That's fine. Understand the power of one, which one getting one, but doing it fast with that strategy, building in a straight line with the right intention, the required level of urgency to build a team of thousands. You can do that. And as we tell people, 18 months. 18 months is what you want to do. You want to give birth twice. Okay? God made it like that for us, 9 months. 9 months is what it takes to create life mostly. And typically 9 months to get people to walk. Last I checked, the number is still 9. 9 for you to be born in most cases. And typically when people start walking, 9 months. So you got to basically birth the business and give the business legs. Write this down. This is big. Momentum. We call it Mighty Mo. Okay, I forgot the Y. The Mighty Mo. It's called the Mighty. I forgot the Y in there. The Mighty Mo. It's a paramount. It's the opportunity. If the opportunity is global, it's another big plus. You got to be able to build momentum, create that excitement. The key to making this work will be on your energy and your excitement and your commitment. You want to believe that it's true? Let me give you some facts. I don't talk about it. I be about it. I'm just giving a few examples because I did it very fast. Everyone you're seeing here on this screen, I did not personally enroll, but I tap rooted. See, I knew Dre had it when I heard him. He's on his way to be a P2000 this month. I knew Julian Riley had it when I talked to him. Brand new P2000. I didn't bring Julian Riley in. I knew that Cashla, top right, P1, had it. Let me get that young lady's number. She's a business owner. Let me go and taproot that. I knew the Forex chicks had it, 2 ladies out of Dallas. Yeah, let me get their phone number. They have it. I knew Jordan Royster had it. The gentleman at the top right, he was doing presentation before the P150. I'm like, wait a minute. This man could do a PowerPoint effective. Let me get that young man's number. P2000 a day. Corey Wiley, gentleman that brought a man quit. All-white party with David. I want to win, man. Arkansas deserve it, man. People forget about Little Rock. So strong now. We call it Arkansas. When we call it Arkansas, we call it Arkansas. Because they dripping out there. Brand new P2. And the 2 young men at the bottom, prime examples. Janars Bradbury just hit P5000 this month. Came in on his last dime. I did not bring him in either. Nobody, I didn't bring anybody in. But I tapped rooted and found Janars Bradbury. I tapped rooted and found Malik Donald. He has not been in the business a year. Organization well over 300 people already. But once I tapped rooted, I executed. That's how I survived. And examples, I got more people that I'm working with now. It's many. Again, I threw this up last minute, but I got some people right now, P600, P150s that I'm working with right now. How do I know they can be tap rooted? If they're not afraid of doing a PowerPoint or showing a plan. That's how you tap root. If you want to tap root and find it, who's not afraid of opening their mouth? Period. As I close out, I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not just talking about it. If you look at the very top left on your screen, you see me leaning over. That was in Florida. I was probably 18 years old in that picture. It was roped off. I was getting signatures from top 6-figure earners. Because one day I said, man, that's going to be me. I'm getting signatures. You look at the top right there, I'm signing signatures. You look at the left there with the burgundy suit, I got like 7, 8 buttons in that picture. And it's a gentleman holding up a ring. That was a 6-figure ring in that company. I said, I want to take a picture with that. Because he who sees it will run. I said, I need a picture with all 6, 7, or 8 buttons, okay? It's been a long time ago. Right there, right next to that picture, yes, y'all, that is David and Manitier. A lot of y'all don't know this. Me and David met in a former company almost 14 years ago. I was a top young money earner in that company. His sponsor introduced us saying, I think you guys 2 were jail together. I snuck David into a director's meeting. I'm holding up the ring that's in that same picture when I got it later. Hello? With it. And then I ended up getting that ring. David met there. It's way before money for David, okay? But if you look at the picture right to the next in the elevator, we're still the best of friends. I had the humility of knowing that even when David went to another company, I didn't say, hey, man, I can't be sponsored under you. I was making $250,000, $300,000. No, I saw the lion in that man's eyes. I said, that young man's going places. So I knew how to be humble. Even though I had reached the top of that company, I was humble enough to know this young man has something. Best decision ever made. Bottom left, my mom on stage. I told you guys, I don't just talk about it, be about it. Brought on stage. And then granted, your why. You got to have things that make you cry, your children, your kids, your family. Find something that moves you to action. I don't care what it is, what you talk about. You better find something very quick that moves you to action, okay? I put my screen back on now. Hopefully y'all saw everything. But that's what it comes down to. Again, I want to make sure I was in a great time, Brandon. Let me know. I'll try to make sure I was in about 15 minutes. But you want to find something that makes you move, makes you go to the next level, and you want to taproot, period. Taproot. Quit saying, man, I don't have any activity. Activity, you guys had 5 people join. You didn't make any relationship with those 5? That's the problem. You're still building on the surface. Remember, we see the ocean, and it looks beautiful. But the ocean cannot operate without coral reef. Where's coral reef at? You got to dive for that. Anybody tell you, any person, any marine biologist will tell you, if you got rid of all the coral reef, man, the ocean would be jacked up. You need coral reef. It's tap-rooted down in the ocean. For you to get to it, you got to dive. Same thing like plants. You got to dive. And if that's the way how he intended it, I'm pretty sure the same goes with business and marketing. You better dive deep and find the next you or somebody who won as bad as all these chairmen on the line. So with that being said, Brandon, again, I'm excited, man. Appreciate it. We're excited to be Chairman 50, but we're not stopping. Regardless of what's happening in the world, we're keeping our blinders on, running at 150 miles per hour. And once again, just building a global brand with this company, taking all the way to 1 million plus and $1 billion in the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. As always, stay with them, stay with them. Brandon Boyd, Chairman 50, Chairman 100, sir. I salute you on this platform, and the floor is back to you, sir.
Man, I love it. I actually got goosebumps under my long sleeve shirts here because there was so much value there. Here's a couple things, guys, I wrote down. Hopefully you guys got a chance to write some of this down. And by the way, a lot of people have been asking about the recording. I'm going to blast it everywhere, WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, so you'll be able to see it. He talked about time and doubt. He talked about how to maximize every single day the time that is allotted to us. And it's funny he mentioned that because I just talked about that yesterday on social media. We got to maximize the time that is given to us. He talked about how legacy stands for let every goal accomplished challenge yesterday. He talked about taprooting. I think that's one of those things that frankly a lot of people forget. I was taught the same thing about 4 levels deep and finding the leader and building with that leader. And he talked about what Jim Rohn said as well, which is that we can't just wait for things to happen and kind of be in managerial mode, but we are the leaders who go down and actually do the work, and we lead in front. We are the ones who are setting the example. We are also the ones who set the pace, and that's including with the trading. So with trading, you set the pace. With the building, you set the pace. You are the pace setter because you are the leader. You don't wait for things to happen. You make the things happen. Success is not to be pursued. It is attracted by the person that you become. So, Bass, I love the message. Look, I've been inspired today. We got a chance to hear from Jürgen Vonda Capella. All right. We got a chance to hear from Michelangelo Martin, #1 enroller of all time. We got a chance to hear from Chyna Bethley. We got a chance to hear from our latest Chairman 50, Bass Grant. I hope that you guys have gotten the value. This call that we do one time a month is not meant to last a half a day. It's not meant to last an entire day. It's meant to quickly get some nuggets in a period of about 15 to 20 minutes per speaker on information that you can take this very next week and start applying. In fact, you don't even have to wait till next week. You can start that today because procrastination is the fertilizer that makes difficulties grow in our lives. We can take action right now. Now stands for no opportunities wasted. Take advantage of what we have right here in front of us. Guys, we are exploding, but you don't just want to sit against the fence and watch it happen. You want to be a part of that growth. You want to say, I was one of those individuals that helped get the company to $1 billion. I was one of those individuals that helped get those 1 million customers. Why? Because not only does it fulfill your life, but it also makes a difference with you financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically, in every way, in every phase of your life. It makes a difference when you are a contributor. You make a contribution to mankind. You are the person who makes a difference, because each and every one of you who've been on here today, you are a difference maker. We need you. Every one of you is special. Every one of you is important, and every one of you is needed as a part of this journey, because this is a journey. This is a journey that we are on right now, and we are to be a part of the journey by actually making a contribution. That's one of the things I'm passionate about, is making a contribution. You guys are making a contribution as well, so let's keep making it happen. I'll get the recording up. Guys, thank you for all the messages been given today. Hopefully you guys got some fabulous notes, and that you can go back and watch the recording, review the notes, and then as you review the notes, you say, okay, what will I do this very next week to start taking action on these things? So guys, with that, this is Brandon Boyd signing off. Hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. We will talk to you on the other side of success. See you guys soon.